It's 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and the CNBC Talk All-Stars are on the air. Now from CNBC Fort Lee, Al Roker.
And good evening, everybody. My guest tonight is really a show business legend. I mean, you hear that phrase all the time, but this is the real McCoy. You know her from her starring roles on Broadway in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and Hello, Dolly. Her countless honors have included Tony Awards, an Emmy, a Golden Globe, and an Oscar nomination. Now she is back, starring in the 30th anniversary of Hello, Dolly. A big howdy to Carol Channing, who is in Houston right now, coming to us by satellite. Hi, Carol.
Hello, Al.
So now you've opened up in Houston with Hello, Dolly.
Yes.
And how are the reviews? They just must come back today.
Oh, they're done. We got them just this morning.
And?
They're adorable.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, and we like that.
Well, you know, you're out on the road now touring with Hello, Dolly.
But it's the pre-Broadway tour.
Ah, I see. So
that's what it is.
You're trying it out of town first.
Yeah, that's right. We're trying it. We've tried it in about 40 major cities.
Yow!
Did you know we had 40 major cities in the United States?
And I'm sure you could name each one of them alphabetically.
Yes, I could. but we have, and it's wonderful. But we're coming into New York next fall, and then we go all over the world. It's my final tour with Hello, Dolly.
Well, let me ask you. I mean, you have done Hello, Dolly now. I think you've played it 4,000 times. The role?
No, 4 million. No, 4,000.
4,000.
But that was what it was July the 12th when we opened this pre-Broadway tour. And now it's whatever it is.
Over 1 million easy.
Yeah, I don't count so well. But it's 8 shows a week and without stop. So
you just do them one back to back.
Yeah, that's right.
About 50 hours of Hello, Dolly all in one.
It was 4,000 when we opened, so you count it up for me.
Well, let me ask you, why did you decide to go out with this again, with Hello, Dolly? How were you going to make Dolly different this time?
Demand. That's why we decided to do it. We were so honored, Al. It seems that the theater owners, you know, were saying, please come. Our clients, our regular customers are begging us for Hello, Dolly. And they want Carol. And I thought, and we were so, Jerry Herman, who wrote the words and music, well, he's our overall artistic director. And Jerry Herman was so honored and flattered and all that we said, maybe this is the time. See, they have subscription audiences, many theaters do. Mm-hmm. And they said, we will buy the year's subscription if you will just put Hello, Dolly on it.
Well, let me ask, how different is this Hello, Dolly from the one that you starred in 30 years ago?
Well, Al, we wouldn't think of changing Gower Champion's choreography and direction. We wouldn't think of changing Jerry Herman's music and lyrics. I mean, you know, when you have a smash hit show that won 10 Tony Awards, and nothing has ever come up to that. Nothing has come up to that. Not chorus line, not anything. 10 Tony Awards, that's lightning in a bottle, isn't it, Al?
I think so. That's a good weather term. I like that.
Oh, lightning in a bottle. Yes. Very good weather
because
term.
you have helped me do the weather before.
You and I know all about the weather. You see, I taught Al everything he knows about the weather, and we're very proud of him.
And I'm trying to carry on in your tradition.
That's right. That's right. Well, anyway, so what we've got, it would be sacrilege to change it, but the earth turns, Al.
I think it actually goes like this. Instead of like that.
Oh, you mean it like what?
Like this. So it doesn't spin top over, you know, that way.
Oh, it goes...
Right, you got it.
Oh, it's kind of...
It's egg-shaped.
Egg-shaped.
Exactly.
Oh, well, I don't know that Dolly does that. But anyway, Dolly turns with the egg shape. And Dolly, it's like Joan Crawford's shoulder pads. They look ridiculous now. Well, Dolly is now 94. She's so unique. She's such a unique individual. We've all met women like that.
I'm still thinking about Joan Crawford's shoulder pads.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? They look silly now. Well, just like certain things in January 16th, 1964, when we opened on Broadway, looked silly. They put shoulder pads in Scarlett O'Hara when they made the movie.
True.
Because people look peculiar without them.
Well, for those who have not seen Hello, Dolly, can you describe it for them?
Well, this time you asked me what's the difference. Dolly is freer, she's franker, she's more open, she's bawdier, she's sexier, and she's not ashamed of her 5 physical senses. So we just go ahead and launch into it, because in 1995, people are more open, and it's a very healthy thing. But she happened in 1890, but she doesn't belong to any era. Isn't that heaven? She doesn't belong to any era. She'll go on. Sometimes I get the creepy feeling Dolly's going to go on like Lady Macbeth through the ages, long after you and I are gone.
Ooh, and we're not going anywhere for a while, hopefully.
Not a while,
okay,
no.
Well, you know, we've got a clip from Hello, Dolly. Let's take a little look. Pookie, if you can roll that baby for us.
The recent one?
Yes.
Hello, Harry. Well, hello, Louie. It's so nice to be back home where I belong. You're looking swell, Manny, I can tell. Danny, you're still glowing, you're still growing.
That is wonderful.
You think so?
I really do. What was that like when you started off the tour, and the first time in front of an audience you came back out on stage and sang that song? What did you feel like?
You know, Al, that's my barometer. I mean, you know, when you're growing, you think you're growing, you're not at all. I found out in looking back. And then when don't know I'm growing at all, that's when I'm growing. I pick up a script for Hello, Dolly, and I realize that's why she sang like that. This is why she said these lyrics. This is why she said this. That's why she did that. And I realized I must have grown. Or I wasn't even thinking about her. I've done some 12 shows on Broadway, and I wasn't even thinking about her doing other shows. But she was marinating, I guess. Is that the word?
She was marinating. Well, you know, we're going to talk some more about cooking and marinating and sauces and marinade, and a whole lot more with Carol Channing, who is in the 30th anniversary tour of Hello, Dolly. We'll have that and a lot more when we come back on the Al Roker program. I'm getting hungry. Welcome back to the Al Roker program. We are talking with the one, the only Carol Channing, who is currently in Houston with the 30th anniversary of Hello, Dolly. We're having so much trouble drawing Carol out because she's just so reticent to talk. You know, you have one of the most distinctive voices probably in show business.
Do you think so?
Well, call it a hunch. I'm thinking, yeah. You know, and there's so many impersonators, especially female impersonators, who do Carol Channing. Is that an honor for you?
Yes, it is. It means they had to like me, Al. You know, if they want to be you, you don't want to turn into somebody that you don't like. So I figure no matter what it looks like, they liked me. You know, don't you think?
I think so.
Yes, and really some of them are awfully funny. I don't know who that person is. You know, did anybody ever do an imitation of you? You think, well, who is that? It looks a little like my father sometimes.
So we're not trying to say that your dad dressed up in women's clothes at all?
Oh, no.
No, okay, good,
No.
good. Now, how did you get your start? Was it on the stage? Is that how you started out in this business?
Yeah, well, you see, at Bennington College, they have a thing called, it's a winter period. You have to go out and get a job at whatever you're majoring in. Mm-hmm. and I was majoring in drama dance. I would have been they called it drama dance. I would have been a drama dance major, but the drama teacher came from New England and the dance teacher came from the Middle West. So I was a drama dance major. And I hot-footed it to New York to get a job performing because I was a drama dance major. Did you know that Katharine Hepburn's younger sisters, Marion and Peggy, were at Bennington the same time I was?
I did not know that.
Yes! Yes! And what they did, well, one of them was a science major, Peggy, so she went to Panama to look at bugs.
Ah.
Yes.
So she stayed in the business just like Katharine. I'm just kidding, I'm sorry.
Oh, she was wonderful. She was all around like Dolly Dimple. She was adorable. And she said, she was a literature major, you know. And I thought, that's Katharine Hepburn's voice. She said, in the class of literature.
Did she talk just like Katharine?
Yeah, she talked just like Katharine, except she was round and kissable and like Dolly Dimple. Isn't that something?
That certainly
I adored her.
But you were hot-footing it to New York.
Yes, I did. And I went to the biggest theatrical booking agency at the time. Well, I guess it still is, the William Morris office. And they, I asked to speak with the president, which is what you do when you're 18 years old.
Sure.
And I was sitting right there waiting, and by some mistake, his secretary ushered me in to see Abe Lastfogel. See? And did you know him, Abe Last?
I never got it.
You're too young.
No,
oh, you're too young. Well, anyway, so Abe Lastfogel, I told him, the girls at Bennington just love these songs. See, I was doing shows in Bennington, so I said, now, this first song, this is the Orestes Funeral Chant. See?
Toe tapper.
Oh, it was wonderful. And I had this little drum, see, and it was in 9/5 time because it was like Chaucerian English. It was ancient Gallic French, you see, and it went and went. Ainsi sur le palais de nos rois, and then ooh, and it went on and on, and ooh, and he said, oh, well, maybe it would be wiser to get somebody a little better known than Orestes, like Sophie Tucker.
Ah.
Yes, so I sensed that I was losing the great man's attention, and I said, no, wait a minute, I have another song here that the girls at Bennington just love. It's a Haitian corn grinding song, rendered by the natives as they stomp out the kernels with their feet. So, yes, so it went, tipo bincare, o tipo bincare, manzero de javim pra la janice. Thank you very much. And so he said, yes, you know, don't phone me, I'll phone you. Yes. So then I said, no, wait, I have one more song here that I ran across in my studies on Middle European cultures. And it goes like, Moishe Hayamon get Kibber's best to Heilig singing them in his Moishe Hayamon spell hub, the kids all in there still. And he said, wait a minute. My grandmother used to sing songs like this to me when I was a little boy. And he said, I think I see a glimmer of talent in this girl. Well, we sang the song together. And we went, oh, we sang away. And he said, I'm going to send you to Mark Blitzstein. He writes modern American operas. He's very weird. He's something like you, Carol. I thought, weird. So he said, yes. And he sent me over, and I got the job. Can you believe it?
That's
I was
amazing.
in my 3rd year at Bennington.
And bang. And it was all because of the thing, the medieval thing.
Yes, the whole, all these wonderful songs that were so thrilling, and he kept saying, no, no, you should do, you know, Carmen Miranda, Sophie Tucker. Somebody.
Well, we're gonna come back and hear about a little more of this. While we go out, can you give us that Haitian corn grinding song again?
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Bobing.
We're going to be back with Carol Channing. More of the Al Roker program after this. We are back with my guest, the very special Ms. Carol Channing, and during the commercial, we were all talking here, the crew, and we love you. You are wonderful.
Oh, Al.
And entertaining, and the thing that I think is the difference is that when you look at today's crop of actresses, I can't think of one that probably has your presence even now, and I doubt they will have that come 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. I mean, do you see when you watch television and the movies and a lot of these actors and actresses, the young ones, the Generation Xers, do you think that there's something missing there? You know,
No.
No?
No, I think Michelle Pfeiffer is gorgeous.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, she is. I think, oh no, I don't
But
see...
they don't tell great stories.
Oh, well, they haven't lived long enough.
Ah, so is that the secret?
Oh, sure, you just, everything's happened to me.
Like, well, what would you say was the big turning point in your life?
A little review called Lend an Ear, and it was in Los Angeles, and Gower Champion, it was his first directing job. He had just married Marge Champion 3 weeks before rehearsal started, but I was doing an audition for an agent, and Marge Champion was called in. They said, Marge, you got to see this girl. So Marge came in, and they had already cast this review that went to New York later and won every award, Critics Circle and everything. Well, this little review was in the little bitty Las Palmas Theater, and Marge came in, watched my audition, and said, Gower's got to see you. And she brought me to her husband, and he said, but we're already cast. She said, I don't care. I want you to see her. So she said, Gower said, well, I have 1.25 minutes. Now you'll have, I said, oh no, you can't know my style until I do 12 different characters for you, 12 numbers. So Marge said, pay no attention, do Ethel Waters. So I did Ethel Waters, you know, singing supper time and all. Oh, I did. So then Gower said, yes, well, that's fine. So then Marge said, do Gertrude Lawrence. And I did Gertrude Lawrence. And then positively, definitely, absolutely, unequivocally you, unequivocally you. Well, we did Gertrude Lawrence, and I did 12 different people, all that, Lynn Fontanne, all the great Broadway people, B. Lilly, Ethel Merman, everybody. Marge kept saying, now do Ethel Merman, now do Uta Hagen, now do the... She kept saying, and Gower stood there. Finally, I got to the 12th number, and Gower said, what else have you got? I said, that's all I've got. So he said, well, then go back and start again. So I did all 12 again. And they made room for me, and they wrote special things for me. Charlie Gaynor wrote it. And it was a review that just was a smash hit in 1947 on Broadway. And I was voted the most promising young, you know, it's called the most promising young, so often that I thought I'd never come to fruition, Al. And finally, Anita Luce came to see it, and she said, there's my Lorelei. And she said, she was doing Gentlemen Prefer Blonde. She said, that's my Lorelei Lee, and she never wavered. She said, it's a comedy. And she said, I want a satirist. And I was satirizing Kirsten Flagstad in opera, and oh gosh, we had fun. French movies, and at the time, and then Anita said, that's my, I was over 6, well, I am over 6 feet tall in heels. And so Anita said, that's all the funnier. Lorelei Lee was 5 feet 2, eyes are blue, and I've got these muddy brown eyes like you, Al Roker. And there, you can imagine casting you as Lorelei. Well, that's what they did with me.
Well, I think it's a little bit more of a stretch for me being cast in that.
Do you?
Just a little bit. You know,
some of the critics don't agree with you.
Well, okay. Well, I will accede to their wishes. But the one thing that I always think about, I mean, is your energy. And the fact of the matter is, when you read the articles about Carol Channing, everybody makes mention of you know, your age or you know, around how old you are. Does that bother you at all?
No, but it's a strange way to decide the depth of your understanding of the character you're playing. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a strange thing to do. This is the most important thing, your age, which is kind of, I mean, well, it never bothered me because I was born into a Christian Science family where they don't believe in birthdays. But so I've never had a birthday. I thought I was getting killed because I never got any presents, and I had to get presents for everybody else growing up.
Was it difficult for you, you know, as a child, when you're surrounded by a culture of people getting presents and the birthday parties and all that?
Yes, but now it's my favorite part of the whole religion. I just love it. And I mean, you're not allowed to tell other people your age, too, but all you have to do is open any review, and they start right out with my age, which is the important thing to them. They put it in the headlines this morning.
Do you think we put too much emphasis on that?
Well, you see, everybody hits the prime of life at a different time. I mean, even the AMA will tell you that. The doctors say, now, Shirley Temple peaked at 7. And obviously, I haven't gotten to the prime yet at all. I mean, you can see I haven't got myself together at all. But I will, and I hope it's soon.
No,
I mean, we all do.
No plans of retiring?
Oh, no. To what, Al? Do you want to retire?
No, I don't, but some people have other ideas for me.
Well, that's people for you. Yes. Well, see, people that think you should retire are people that are bored with their own jobs,
well,
which is
you know
a shame.
what? We can't be bored with you, Carol Channing. Good luck on the 30th anniversary tour of Hello, Dolly. And will you come back and visit when you're in New York?
Oh, I'd love to, because we're going to... Oh, I want you there opening night because you love me, Al.
I do.
Yes, and I love you.
And I love you, too.
These things have anodes and cathodes, and I want you sitting right next to the New York Times, please.
Mwah. All right. Good night, Carol.
Good night,
And
Al.
good night, everybody. Stay tuned for the Dick Cavett Show next on CNBC. We'll see you next week at the same time.